EU waking up late to political calculations and ideological impulses that drive UK project. Please use the sharing tools found via the share button at the top or side of articles. Copying articles to share with others is a breach of FT.com T&Cs and copyright policy. Email licensing at FT.com to buy additional rights. Subscribers may share up to 10 or 20 articles per month using the gift article service. More information can be found at https://www.ft.com/tour https://www.ft.com/3206E616-525-11A-881-482E0038B1. At a conference in Warsaw 2 weeks ago, a high-ranking German diplomat asked me if Boris Johnson, the British Prime Minister, was serious about achieving clear-cut regulatory divergence from the EU. The question was revealing. Across EU capitals, policymakers and analysts are waking up late to the political calculations and ideological impulses that drive the Brexit project of Mr. Johnson and his government. For the ruling Conservative Party, purged of pro-Europeans and re-elected with an unassailable legislative majority in December, independence from the EU is inseparable from three other objectives. These are, state-guided economic modernization, concentration of power in Downing Street at the expense of ministries, parliament, the courts and media, and the assertion of British, or more specifically English, national identity. Anyone who doubts Mr. Johnson's commitment to regulatory independence should read the speech given in Brussels on Monday by David Frost, the UK's chief Brexit negotiator. To think that we might accept EU supervision on so-called «level playing field» issues simply fails to see the point of what we are doing, he said. It isn't a simple negotiating point which might move under pressure, it is the point of the whole project. Brexit gives shape to Mr. Johnson's programme. However, the government, protected by its House of Commons majority and the opposition Labour Party's disarray, has its sights set on more than independence from the EU. Consider events since the December 12 election. Please use the sharing tools found via the share button at the top or side of articles. Copying articles to share with others is a breach of FT.com T&Cs and copyright policy. Email licensing at FT.com to buy additional rights. Subscribers may share up to 10 or 20 articles per month using the gift article service. More information can be found at https://www.ft.com/tour https://www.ft.com/content/3206E616-525-11A-881-482E0038B1. Mr. Johnson last week parted ways with Sajid Javid after the Chancellor resisted a plan that in effect puts the UK Treasury under Downing Street's supervision. He replaced him with Rishi Sunak, one of the least experienced chancellors in modern British history, with no party power base of his own. Mr. Sunak can be expected to endorse Mr. Johnson's multi-billion-pound infrastructure investment projects. Part of their purpose is to strengthen the UK's unity against vociferous pressures in Scotland and Northern Ireland, and to defend the new Conservative electoral territory in the Midlands and Northern England. Mr Johnson also diverged from his US, Canadian and European allies last week by sending a low-level delegation to the Munich Security Conference. It was gesture politics, aimed at Mr Johnson's British audience. "My government does things differently and more independently." Likewise, Mr Johnson brushed aside calls to stop delaying publication of a report compiled last year by Parliament's Intelligence and Security Committee, on Russian interference in British politics. The flimsy excuse is that it will take time to reconstitute the committee after December's election. The more likely reason is that the report's authors know all about generous financial donations to the Conservative Party made by wealthy Russian émigrés. One can expect this report to appear just when the government is exploiting other events to divert the public's attention. On matters of national identity and migration, the government insisted on its right to deport 25 Jamaicans despite a court ruling that prevented their expulsion. As outlined in the Conservative Election Manifesto, Mr Johnson is likely to curb the powers of the UK Supreme Court, which angered him in September by ruling that his government had acted unlawfully in suspending Parliament. Mr Johnson is also set to repeal the 2011 Fixed-Term Parliaments Act, a measure that will restore the power of governments to time elections to suit their partisan purposes. The new, hard-edged right-wing atmosphere in Downing Street is unmistakable. Andrew Sabisky, a young Downing Street policy advisor, resigned this week after he was exposed as a supporter of eugenics who once suggested that black people have IQs close to the typical boundary for mild mental retardation. Tim Montgomery, another former advisor, was revealed in January to have spoken warmly of Viktor Orban, Hungary's hard-right prime minister. Meanwhile, Daniel Kaczynski, a backbench Tory MP, attended a conference in Rome with politicians such as Mr Orban and Matteo Salvini, leader of Italy's League Party. EU believers in a «soft Brexit» cannot say they have not been warned.